Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Robin. How are you? Thanks for dropping in. Robin from Maryland. So, got to turn my phone down. I don't know why it's talking. It should not have been saying a word, but it did. How you doing? Um, as usual, you're always first. But anyway, you're here, and thank you for joining the live for tonight. Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land and YouTube land. Thank you for dropping by. I do appreciate it. Also, hello to everybody out there that may watch the replay when that is uploaded as soon as we get offline tonight. So, thank you for watching as well. I do appreciate it. You just don't know how happy I am when I look back at the analytics and see how many people have actually been viewing the channel and looking at the live and all of that and showing me support. I do appreciate it. So thank you so much. So as usual, got to wait for a little while to get people up in here. Um, it's just 8:01, so we still have time. And you see me all garbed out in my African print. I just thought I'd do a little celebration tonight since tonight is the last night of Black History Month that I will be on live. So I decided that I would put my little African stuff on because I kind of like it. I don't wear it that much, although because I don't go anywhere. That's why I don't wear it. Not that I don't like it, it's that I don't go anywhere. But anyway, um, thought I like I look beautiful. Well, thank you, Val. Good evening. How you doing? Again, I'm celebrating Black History Month. This is the last night of Black History Month that I will be on a live because the next live it will be March. So Black History Month will be over with, although Black History Month is every month of the year. So just thought I'd just do a little celebration tonight just to kind of liven it up a little bit and put together something. I was like, what am I going to wear? I have my little jewelry stuff that I have, and I love the necklace. I don't know if you guys can see the necklace all the way, but it is. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here you go. Let me take this thing down. Maybe you can see it. Take this down and nope, get rid of it. There you go. Now you can see the whole necklace and the whole effect and everything. If I just sit up straight, then you can see the whole thing. But anyway, I just love my little necklace. So I and the earrings to match, and of course the hairband and what have you. And want to get some more, but I want to get them in different African prints. But I've not been able to find different prints. They're all pretty much the same. So anyway, that's how that goes. Hi Maggie, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. I do appreciate it, Maggie 81. I don't know if I've met you before, but I do appreciate you for stopping in. If you can remind me where you are from, if you have been here before. Hi Marina, how you doing? And I look amazing as ever. I'm just doing my little Black History last day of the month that I'm going to be on. It's 2 more days left in the month, but I won't be on. So I just thought I'd just do my little thing. So hi Mary, how are you? Hi Sue, how you doing? Thank you for dropping in. I do appreciate it. So we are all coming in and saying hi and everything. And I'm just doing my little tribute to Black History Month. So if you're wondering, where is she going? I ain't going nowhere, but right here, right here. Oh, you're new to my channel and you're from Wisconsin. Well, thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. As always, you will find that we have fun here. We laugh, we talk, we we do everything. I don't know if you've ever got a chance to see any of the replays or if you've seen anything on my channel, but welcome, welcome, welcome. We do appreciate it. Hi, Marissa. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Do appreciate it. And Sue, have I met you before? Not sure. Think I have, but you know, my memory gets kind of stale every once in a while. Um, but if I haven't met you, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Hope you and Maggie will continue to join me as much as you can. And if you've been here before, forgive me for forgetting that we've met already. And I look gorgeous. Thank you. Hi. I I ain't doing too bad for an old lady. I I clean up halfway decent every once in a while. Every once in a while, I try. But anyway, um, as usual, like I said, we kind of hang out for a few minutes. I usually start around 10 after 8 for those of you that are new, and just to make sure everybody gets in here. Oh, Joe Bindle, you're from New Zealand. Well, hey, girl, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. What time is it in New Zealand right now? I don't know. But if you can let me know, I appreciate it. And hi, Carol. How are you? And thank you, Loving the Accessory. You just hopped in. I'm just celebrating the last few days of Black History Month. So I decided I just pull together some of my stuff and put it on and do that little celebration for Black History Month. So that's why I have my, oh, it's okay after 2 p.m. Okay, so it's 8 p.m. here, and so it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon in New Zealand. Well, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Hope that you will come by more often. Hopefully, you have looked at some of the replays and some of my videos on the channel and that you will become a regular. You are welcome always. Everybody that is new to us are always welcome here in our little chat that we do every Tuesday night. We try to talk about things that are relevant to embroidery and the crafting world, although we get off point a lot. We talk about some of everything. No questions are too crazy. They may be a little hard, but we try to get the answers. Everybody joins in, everybody pitches in, everybody answers whatever it is that they know. So we do a lot of sharing here. So and we do have a pretty core group of people that come back every Tuesday. So those are the ones that pretty much are saying welcome because they're my comrade compadres, as as they say. They are always here, and I do appreciate that. So tonight we're going to talk about actually the subject. I normally don't talk about the business part. Hi, Becky, how you doing? I normally don't talk about business and of embroidery, and mostly because in the past I have noticed that a lot of the people that watch me that I know that I've met don't really do embroidery for to make money. They do it for fun, even though all of us do some type of selling. You know, usually if you're embroidering something, you're selling something because as soon as somebody finds out you know how to do it, then they want you to do that. So that's how this subject came up. So Maggie, you say you have watched a few of my Brother 10 Needle videos because you're new to the 10 needle and you can't wait to really dig in. Do appreciate that. Thank you, Becky. I do appreciate you liking my little nod to Black History Month. The end of Black History Month anyway. So back to you, Maggie. I do hopefully hope that you can get information that you need. If you have specific questions or needs or anything I've not already addressed in some of my videos, feel free to ask because that's what we try to do is answer questions. And I'm always asking if is there anything new that you want me to talk about, anything you want me to repeat, anything you want me to explain, anything like that. I will do the best that I can. I do my research. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answers and I'll come back to you and try to give it to you. And Marina, you said New Zealand is on your bucket list. Okay, that's good to know. I've never really thought about visiting New Zealand, but it's good to know that somebody has the interest of going to New Zealand on the bucket list. So, Marina, you and Joe might be able to talk a little bit about that if you all can hook up. So, it is now 10 after 8. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started as usual. And the topic for tonight is, do you want to turn your embroidery projects into a money making venture? And as I was saying, is that um, I don't know if a lot of you are trying to do that, but I think most of us think about it kind of in the back of our mind, mainly because since we do embroider and people find out that that's what we do, oftentimes somebody somewhere is asking you to make them something. And instead of, constantly making stuff and giving it away, it's probably best that we can start making things and sell them. So, what I said is that everyone likes money. Some of us need money. At least we would love to have a little bit more money. And plus, we all like to do some type of crafting, and mine is primarily embroidery, even though I do a few other things. And therefore, I've been thinking a lot lately as to how we can make more money doing what we love. And have you been thinking about it? And if so, let's dive in it tonight and talk about it and see what information we can come up with. So I did do some research. Now, I don't know how many of you, well, I do know the ladies that are part of the sew along probably heard me mention the fact that I've been considering doing an Etsy shop. And I don't have one, but I have been asked several times whether or not I have an Etsy shop. I've been asked on my channel. I've been asked on Facebook. I've been asked here on the live whether or not I have an Etsy shop. And I'm assuming people are interested in seeing my shop and maybe buying something if they see something they like. And I've always had to say, no, I don't have an Etsy shop. But I've been thinking about an Etsy shop, to be perfectly honest about it, for a while, well over a year. Off and on, I think about it. I probably would have dove into the throes of an Etsy shop a while back had I not heard a few things that kind of did not sit well with me from people that tried it and didn't like it. And I have been doing some research here lately, specifically, and I've seen pros and I've seen cons. I've seen people love it. I've seen people that don't like it, and I've heard the reasons why on both ends. So I just wanted to explore more information about selling embroidery or crafting items in general, not necessarily uh, only on Etsy. So, with that in mind, I did my favorite thing. I turned to artificial intelligence to see if their intelligence is different than mine, and it is. They have information that you can always learn from. So, uh, the first thing I asked was 20 places that you can sell machine embroidery items, because there is a difference between hand embroidery and machine embroidery. And I don't know how to do hand embroidery. Hand embroidery is beautiful work. I'm assuming it's time consuming, but I think it sells well because it is unique in itself. And the beauty of hand embroidery is unbeat, I think, but I don't know how to do it. And I don't think I will, because I don't think I'm going to try to learn. pretty much. But anyway, I specifically asked about machine embroidery. Now, it did list off 20 places, and of course, the number one place was Etsy. And it's a popular platform for handmade and vintage items. So apparently, when it was first established, and I don't know if I did see somewhere, but I didn't write it down when Etsy was first established. It's been out there for a while. That it was big on handmade and vintage. Now it's everything digital, um, everything is on Etsy. Services are on Etsy. Everything is on Etsy. So Etsy is the Amazon of crafting because everything is on Etsy. Number two is Amazon Handmade. I had not heard of Amazon Handmade. So that is a platform that is similar to Etsy, but and it allows you to showcase your creation to a larger audience. Now, we'll get in as we go further deeper into this, some of the pros and cons, restrictions, and what have you, just in case you're interested. And they're all different. Social media is also a place where people uh, tend to sell items. I have sold things on social media. You can create a dedicated page or groups on platforms like Instagram and Facebook to showcase your work and interact with potential customers. Also, we all know about local markets and craft fairs. People participate in local events to showcase their items directly to a local audience. Um, those can be really good and they can be not so good. It just depends because you're trying to figure out what's going to sell. So you spend a lot of time and energy throughout the year collecting inventory, creating inventory, buying whatever it is that you have to buy to develop your item, and then you make it, and then you bring it and hope that it sells. You stitch out tons of patches, you stitch out tons of key fobs, you stitch out tons of towels, pillows, blankets, totes, hats, whatever it is that you're good at that you want to sell, take it to the events and hope they do sell. And a lot of times people sell out and some people don't sell anything. Some people only take a few things and just take orders. So it just depends upon how you want to do it. I even know some people actually will take a machine and do some things right there on the spot. So it just depends upon how you want to handle that situation. Number five, online embroidery blank suppliers. Now, that part, I don't know. Explore websites that specialize in embroidery blanks for sourcing materials. So, that's not, as far as I know, where you can sell your items unless you make blanks. But that's definitely where you can buy supplies. You can always set up your own website. If you're good at it, or you know somebody that can set it up for you, or you pay somebody to set it up for you and get everything rolling and what have you, then you can definitely sell from your own website. And of course, it's personalized website to sell items directly. Craft shows and art fairs, similar to the local markets and what have you. There are places that I don't know, they distinguish themselves a little bit different because I have been to both. I've been to art fairs where it's just strictly art, but your embroidery items can be considered art as well. And it says it's attended by these events to connect with art enthusiastic and people and potential buyers. Custom orders. Now, I've done a lot of custom orders. I've done more custom orders than anything. And it offers personalized monogramming services for customers, and not just monogramming, anything that people want done for them. That if you don't have a shop, then it is personalized because you're creating whatever it is for that particular customer, whether you're doing left chest logos, whether on polo shirts, or you're doing mama t-shirts or mama hoodies, or you're doing towels or napkins or coasters or whatever you're doing, pillows, whatever people have requested from you. That's what you're doing. And for me, I consider it custom because it was specifically ordered and asked for. Gift shops and boutiques. You can partner with local shops to display and sell your items, which is an excellent idea if you are blessed enough to run across a place that's looking to add to their inventory and you have something that is unique. Now, my cousin that lives out west in Oregon had a custom shop years ago, and she did extremely well. And she traveled up and down places in Oregon and sold her items to boutiques and gift shops. And that's how she take her wares in there and show it to them, and they would order so much to put into their shops, and she would replenish them as they requested. So it can be done. Now this was years ago. Um, don't know how easy that is now because a lot of places buy from big places because they can get um, better prices. But if you have something that is really unique and handmade, a lot of people like those kinds of things, as we know, hence Etsy, then they may be willing to buy your or put an order in for a few items just to see if they're going to sell. And if they sell, then they'll probably order a few more. So that is definitely a place to think about. Gift shops and boutiques. Online auctions such as eBay. eBay is an excellent place to sell on. Participate in platforms like eBay for wider exposure. And they have their own process. I've sold on eBay as well, not embroidery stuff, but other items. And my husband buys off of eBay all the time. So I do know that people sell and make money off of eBay. Pop-up shops organize temporary retail spaces in collaboration with other artists. Now, I knew a person, or I know a person that was new with embroidery, and she got connected with somebody and did a few pop-up shops and did pretty well. I mean, she didn't have her brother 10 needle machine. I don't think she had that machine over 3 months before she was buying another one. And she was, and I'm assuming she's still doing pretty good with that. So the pop-up shops are something to think about. Schools and church events, set up a booth during fundraisers or community gatherings. Those are excellent because a lot of churches and schools have those type of situations that occur several times during the year. And if you know about it or affiliated with them some kind of way, then you might be able to get in there and sell some things. And then that's how you can get your business started, because take your business card, and if somebody buys from you there, then they might pass it on to somebody else, and they might call you up and put in some orders and stuff. And don't ever forget about word of mouth. Word of mouth is one of the best ways of selling anything. Word of mouth. I've heard of people that have built their business up just from word of mouth. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, when I first started watching Eve from the Baby's Booty, she said that's how her business got started, was word of mouth. She went to a baby shower, made a gift. She only had her, I believe, 4x4 brother machine. Made I think it was a binky, and a bib or something like that. But anyway, it was a hit. And from that point on, it just grew because people wanted one, people wanted one, people wanted one, and it just grew and grew. And that's kind of how she got her business started and her channel started, and the whole 9 yard by doing that. So um, word of mouth definitely helps. Online forums and groups. Now, a lot of the online forums that some of them will let you sell and some of them won't. It just depends. So you have to pick and choose the forums that you decide to join and find out what their rules are. Some of them are specifically to sell on, and then some of them are specifically just to help and not sell on. So be sure that you're aware of what the rules are before you join an online forum or group, because you don't want to violate that and get kicked off. But there are forums that are out there that are specifically for you to sell your items. So don't forget about that. Corporate gifts. Approach businesses for customized corporate gifts. Now, there's lots of ways of doing that. And, if you're a good salesperson, wedding and event planners collaborate for personalized event decor. Now, a good way of doing that is going to a bridal shop. Now, I don't know if David Bridal went out of business or not. The last I heard when I was in Florida, I think they said they were going out of business. I don't know. But going to a bridal shop and taking in some of your samples of pillows, um, ring like the ring barrier pillow, or either a pillow for a bridal gift, or napkins, or handkerchiefs, or anything like that. Whereas they can see what you can do, and then they may let you put some of your samples in there, and may let you put your business card in there, and then you can pick up a wedding planner's business card as well, and hook up and make some connection that way. Consignment shops. That's always a good idea if you know of a consignment shop where you can put your things in there and see if they sell. Now, I've done consignment shops with clothing, but I've not done it with any of the things that I have made, but and furniture. I've done furniture and clothing. So consignment shops are a way of making money. Um, you just have to negotiate how that percentage is going to be split up, whether or not you make good money. Holiday bazaars, which is you participate in seasonal markets. Local art galleries themselves, like their gift shop, depending upon what it is that you make. Online marketplaces beyond Etsy, and they talk about platforms like Zibit, Artfire, or Handmade at Amazon. And I'm not familiar with any of those, but I did see them, and they're on my next page. And subscription boxes. Partner with subscription box services that feature handmade items. So that requires you to do some research in order to do that. So those are some of the places, 20 of them, where you can actually um, do some selling of your items if this is something that you're interested in getting involved in. So there's a lot of ways to sell, a lot of ways. Now, I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, because it's not, because some people have done extremely well and some people struggle. Um, Again, like I said, you can't beat word of mouth. You can't beat getting in connection with somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, because that happens a lot where you get referrals. If you do good work, you're subject to get a really good referral, and then you get business. I've had business happen a lot that way. So that's just one way. Place of employment. Now, a lot of places don't allow solicitation. I remember years ago when you could take the Girl Scout cookie booklet into the job. You could take your Avon booklet in. You could take whatever else that you was Tupperware and Pamper Chef and all the other little things that people would sell, and take it into your job and put it into the into the lunchroom area for people to peruse while they're at lunch and everything. And next thing you know, you go back in there and you got orders and stuff like that. Um, but a lot of jobs don't allow that anymore. They don't allow any type of solicitation at all. So you have to be careful with that. Um, you can still, there's always a workaround, because if you wear something that you made, and get a compliment, that opens up the door in the conversation. You didn't solicit anybody. You just advertised. So that way you can, kind of like I said, do a workaround. Then do the order outside of the job. I would not take an order on the job. If I took an order at all, it would have to be out in the parking lot, in my car, or down the street from the job, or some place like that, so you don't get in trouble because somebody is bound to tell somebody. But nonetheless, the possibility is there for your job to get business. And a lot of people have gotten business from people that they work with. Also, your doctor's office. Now, I've done that where I have advertised, especially when I was doing masks, and I would wear my mask on purpose, cute mask, had plenty of pictures. People say, "Oh, that's so cute." I got my business card. Girl, I make masks. Child, you need a mask? You thinking about a mask? Here, look at some of these masks I made. And got orders in my doctor's office. So, I mean, there's always ways of making that contact. So it is possible. Now, I did ask AI about places that e-commerce platforms other than Etsy, since most everybody knows Etsy. And they mentioned 10 places. Amazon Handmade, which I had mentioned a few minutes ago, and they said it is similar to Etsy. And I do have a breakdown on another sheet here that I'll talk about Amazon Handmade. eBay, we all know about eBay. Shopify. Shopify allows you to create your own online store using Shopify's user-friendly platform. So it's different than eBay. You can do some things on Shopify that you can't do on eBay. I know I bought some designs, embroidery designs from a lady's shop on Etsy, several designs. And then this has been a while ago where she sent me an email, and I get emails from her off and on, even still. But she sent me an email saying, go to her Shopify store because she was able to sell things on Shopify that she could not sell on Etsy because Etsy has very strict regulations and rules and no copyrighted stuff. And I mean, there's things, and I've heard stories about people getting kicked off and didn't know why they got kicked off and suspensions and so forth and so on, which does apparently happen because I've heard about this several times. And I don't think she got kicked off, this particular person, but she must have gotten sanctioned or something. And she opened up her Shopify store. She still has her Etsy store, but she has a Shopify store, and you can buy different kinds of designs there that you can't get, that's not allowed on Etsy. So just said that to let you know that you can do some things on Shopify that you cannot do on Etsy. Another one is Big Commerce. It's another robust e-commerce platform that allows you to set up your own shop. WooCommerce, WOO, WooCommerce. If you have a WordPress website, then WooCommerce is a plugin that enables e-commerce functionality. It's kind of like Wix, I think, WIX, which is a website platform that's affiliated with Vistaprint. So they, you know, Zibbet, Zibbet, a marketplace specifically for homemade, vintage, and craft items. I had not heard of Zibbet before, and I didn't get around to looking Zibbet up. If anybody's aware of Zibbet, you can let me know. What do you think about it? Art Fire, Art, ART, Fire, FIRE. It's an alternative to Etsy, and Artfire focuses on handmade and artisanal products. Bonanza. Bonanza is known for its diverse range of unique items. Bonanza is a great place to sell your embroidery work. And of course, I mentioned, well, the first one says Amazon handmade. Now, number 9 says handmade at Amazon. Now, I don't know if those are the same or different. And the last one, number 10, is Printify, Printify. If you're looking to create custom embroidered products, Printify integrates with various e-commerce platforms. So those are some of the platforms that are available if you don't want to go the Etsy route. So I'm talking about all of the stuff that you can do to sell products, and it's not just embroidery. Any of your crafting, if you do rhinestones, if you do sublimation, if you do quilting, um, whatever your craft may be, you can utilize a lot of these platforms to sell, or the processes that we talked about, going to craft fairs and so forth and so on to sell your items. And I just wanted to bring those things up because um, we spend a lot of money. We spent a lot of money. Those of you that are new here, this is Wine Down Tuesday, and I always have my wine. And my favorite wine is Stella Rosa. This is Stella Rosa Peach. I'm back. All I see, the fun background. No, Shirley, must be weather. What's happening? Okay. Yes. Don't ask me what happened because I don't know. But I just froze, and then it said that I had lost my camera. Don't know why. Then it said YouTube couldn't do something other, whatever. So I just did what I normally do when the computer asks for food. I got off and came back. I just shut down and came back in, so it worked. So thank you guys for hanging in there. Again, I don't know what happened, but and as far as I know, well, I'm in my room with the doors closed, the window closed, so I don't know if the weather is good, bad, or whatever. I have no idea. I don't know if it's raining. I don't know what's going on, I just know that let me see if the weather is bad out here because I don't really know what caused that to happen. But I'm glad I'm back. Thank you guys for hanging in there. If it happens again, just hang in there and I'll see what I can do to get back. So, but anyway, um, first thing tech support tell us what to do when an issue shut down and get back on. Honey girl, that is my thing. I do that. I always do that. It's raining in my area, but not storming. Okay, so I don't know what happened. I really don't know. And Marina, you said you saw a commercial. Well, that was good. If the commercial came on, at least you were entertained. Hi, Danielle. Stop. Thank you for stopping in. Hi, Carol. How you doing? I didn't say hi to you when you stopped in. And I was trying to tell you guys that I lost my camera, and I didn't even spell the word camera right. But anyway, it came up and said YouTube wasn't going to post it because they said it was spam. I was like, what the heck? But anyway, uh, and Trisha, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. And JE, hi from Western New York. Thank you for stopping by. Hi Joyce, how you doing? And Carol, what is I am able to put my items in my son's coffee shop. Good. That's great. That's great. And Wendy, you're from Wisconsin. Um, Okay, I think I've caught up with everybody that hopped in while I was talking and all of that. And hopefully the when I went off, people didn't go away thinking that it went away for good because it didn't go away for good, you guys. Come on back. I'm here. I'm back. It was a technical glitch of some kind, could be weather related. I have no idea. Now, what I'm going to talk about next, we talked about where we can sell things. Then I said, what is best to sell? Um, I've been doing a lot, like I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of research and reading and stuff, trying to get myself psyched up, if nothing else, to decide whether or not I'm going to do Etsy. Hi, Leslie. You missed all the fun, girl. I got kicked off in the whole 9 yards, but I'm back. But anyway, um, um, and it talks about it's interesting how analytics the computer runs the world, runs the world. It talks about particular colors that you use. It talks about the different wordings that you use, your taglines, your titles, your listings. I mean, it's just a whole backlog of stuff. And um, that you have to take into consideration when you're setting up a shop of any kind, be it Etsy or any kind. That's enough to blow your mind, and it makes you think hard if this is something that you really want to do because you have to be committed to it. But on top of that, it also talks about what sells, which is what makes the most sense. There's no need to try to sell something if you put something out there to anybody if it doesn't sell. Just because you like it doesn't mean other people are going to like it. So you have to uh, kind of follow the rules a little bit about what tends to sell the best. And I know this one says embroidery items that tend to sell best are those that have a unique design, appeal to a large audience, and that can be used in multiple ways. Popular embroidery products includes hats, and people use hats and ball caps interchangeably. So I'm assuming they're talking about ball caps mostly. T-shirts, hoodies, bags, backpacks, and patches. Also, I do know key fobs, um, um, key fobs, and totes. towels, those things tend to sell well as well. Customers love designs with vibrant colors or unique patterns such as floral motif or geometric shapes. They appreciate items made from high quality materials like cotton or linen because they last longer. And they like stuff that works well as promotional merchandise for businesses since they offer an opportunity to showcase companies' logos and slogans in a stylish way. So those are the things that tend to sell well. Um, when you're deciding to sell, as I was mentioning before I got kicked off, I froze to death and then they kicked me off, that we spend a lot of money. When you're done buying all of your stabilizers, all of your thread, all of your needles, all of your various hoop sizes, hooping stations, um, all the stuff that you need to do your craft. And that's just the embroidery side. Now, when you throw in, I want to add some rhinestone or sublimation ink, the sublimation machine, the embroidery machine, the rhinestones themselves, the pressing machine for the rhinestone, the pressing machine for your substrates that you're sublimating, being tumblers, cups, coasters, whatever it is that you sublimate. We spend a lot of money. That's the reason why I personally think that any and all of us that do any type of crafting should try to sell as much as we can sell. We need to try to recoup some of this money. That's just me. That's just what I think. Because I mean, we do it for fun. We do it because we love the art. We do it because it keeps us busy. It's a hobby. Most of us started, I would assume, doing this as a hobby. Some of the younger people, I think, get into embroidery and stuff for the money, straight up. I'm going to embroider because I want to make money, not realizing you got to learn how to embroider before you can make money. So it's not like an instant overnight situation that is going to put you in a position to make money. Um, Not even with sublimation, I think you can pick up the craft of sublimation quicker than you can with embroidery because sublimation, I'm not going to say it's easy because you still got to know how to, it's not easy. You still have to learn it. And there's a lot of techniques and a lot of different components. But as you know, if you don't embroider that stuff correctly, it's going to look a hot mess. And I don't know of anybody that opened up an embroidery machine and started stitching right away and was perfect. It takes time. It takes practice. And it takes money. So make some money. Make the decision to sell something. If your cousin, auntie, uncle, sister's brother want you to make something, then go ahead and make something. But charge them something. If you're not that good, charge them $5. At least put a value on it. You got to put value on your time. And then as you get better at it, your prices go up. And you need to let them know that up front. Look, I'm new, I'm just starting, so I'm not going to charge you full price, but I am going to charge you something because I got to pay for my thread and my stabilizer. So I'm going to charge you $5 for this. Now, if you come back a month from now, it's going to go up. I'm just letting you know up front. So don't come back saying, well, you sold it to me for $5 and now you want 10. Yeah, I'm better. That part. You need to do that. You really do. Because the more you do it, the better you get, and the more your time is valuable. And um, you need to get paid for your skills. Any job that you have, the job that you have now, those of you that are still working, If you've been doing this for any length of time, you have developed a skill. You're better now than you were when you first started doing this job. Therefore, you expect a raise. You expect them to pay you every year because you get better every year. And you expect for them to give you more and more money every year. So it's the same thing with your embroidery. The better you get, the more you charge. Now, your equipment goes up as well. Your machine may depreciate, true enough. Everything mechanical depreciates. However, you're getting it fixed, you're oiling it, and you're servicing it, and you're babysitting it, and you're taking care of it, and you're putting threads and needles and all that kind of stuff like that. So you're taking care of that machine, but you're constantly buying stuff for that machine. How many of us only have one hoop for our machine? How many of us have only two hoops for our machine? Now, most machines came with three or four hoops. So that tells you right then and there, they already know you need more than one hoop. Now, we get past the three or four hoops that came with the machine. How many of us have more hoops than what came with our machines? Now, Trisha, you said not me. I guess that means you have more, I'm assuming. But in order to do what it is that you want to do, the types of things that you want to create, the types of things that you want to make, you usually end up buying more than one hoop. Even if you have a single needle machine, even if you have SE 1900, my single needle machine came with four hoops. Yep, came with the 5x7, maybe it's three hoops. Came with 5x7, 4x4, and a 2x3, one little bitty, whatever. Three hoops. I ended up buying a 5x7 and a 4x7 magnetic hoop to go with it. I didn't buy the repositional hoop, but a lot of people have bought the repositional hoop. So you're talking about you're talking about at least six hoops just for a single needle machine like a SE 1900. Now, move up to a more advanced machine where you can do more things and you can add other stuff to it. You're going from 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. Don't even wake up the multi-needle machine. Mighty Hoop ain't cheap. And I know I have more than one Mighty Hoop. I have more than two. I have more than three. I have more than four. Shall I go on? I have more than five. And I have Hoop Tech hoop clamps. I have Durkee fast frames. What else? Uh, Jumbo hoops. You're gonna have it. It gets addictive. And not only, it's not just the fact that it's addictive, JE, it's necessary. When you're wanting to do a different type of project, you need the equipment to go with that project. And therefore, you have to buy the equipment that works best for that project to do a good job. So you end up spending more money. So, thus, what I'm saying is you're spending money constantly. You got to have several different types of stabilizers. You got to have your cutaway. You got to have your tearaway. You need to have some sticky stabilizer if you got a fast frame. You need to have, I use no-show mesh. You need to have some water soluble. You may need to have some of your heat shrink stabilizer. You may need to have something to do I use violin for my freestanding lace. You need different sizes of stabilizers. You need the big, the medium size, the small, the square, all of that. I'm looking in my corner and it looks like a stabilizer store. You need to have your tender touch. It's just stuff after stuff after stuff. And then don't even wake up thread. You need to have multiple colors of thread And then you need to have several different weight. You need to have your 40 weight. You need to have your 60 weight for your bobbin. You need to have 60 weight for your small uh, letterings. You want to do something fancy dancy, you might need to have a 12 weight or something, or something even smaller, have a 90 weight. So it's so many different weights of thread. You might want metallic thread, variegated thread, cotton thread, rayon thread. Shall I keep going? All of that, all of that, all of that. So it is invariably costly to be in the business that we're in to not make it a business. So start selling stuff. Start thinking about it. I'm not saying do Etsy. Etsy is a commitment. But I am saying do something. Start off small, but have the courage to sell. And if you don't think you have the skill yet, practice and get to the point where you can. And um, I recommend, as well as the expert, recommend a niche. Now, for me, a niche, I have yet to select a niche. That's my biggest problem because I like to do a lot of different stuff. I don't just do one thing. And but if you're going to sell, especially if you're going to sell on Etsy or eBay or some platform, you really need a niche. You need to become an expert in a group of stuff. If it's monogramming, if it's towels or pillowcases or patches or key fobs or whatever, whatever, blankets, you need to do that, do that, do that, and do it well until you do it so well that it's done hats, it caps, whatever. That is easy and simple and quick. That's how you make money. I was reading and I'm reading this book on Etsy. Actually, it wasn't a book. It was a video that I looked at last night, and it was talking about selling on Etsy. And this was a lady that was doing an example about how to make money and how to price, which is something that we'll talk about on another video. But she was talking about how to go about pricing something, and I know that questions comes up all the time. And the one thing that she mentioned, some people try to do the dollar a dollar per thousand stitch, which works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends upon what it is. But what she did say is that you should always try to make sure that you're the one providing the blanks and double the price. But that's if you're doing wholesale pricing. So get your license so you can get wholesale pricing so you can double the price. If you pay $5 for an item, then you should sell it for, you should, in your price, it should be 10 plus whatever you're going to charge for the actual embroidery. Say, for instance, her example was a $5 item. You mark it up to 10. You got 6,000 stitches. So that's $6. So you got $16 right there. But you only paid $5. So you've already made, what is that? $11. That's my math is bad. And something else that she added on there. And how quickly can you do it? Because if you can do, she said $15 is how she rounded off. If you can do 10 of these items an hour and you're charging $15, then you're making like $150 an hour minus that $5. So $100 an hour, I guess, however. it turns out. Don't do my math because I'm trying to do it in my head. I have to do it on pencil. But anyway, that's the only way that you're going to start making money. And she said it's legit. It's how people do it. We often, we, including me, are fearful of overcharging somebody. And what we end up doing is undercharging and losing money on our own end. Then you feel guilty about it. And I know Jeanette has talked about this quite a bit. I've listened to her. And you're end up mad at yourself because you worked hard, but you didn't make any money because you didn't charge what you were supposed to charge because you were afraid you were going to lose the customer because you're going to overcharge the customer or they're going to think you overcharge them. But that very same customer will go somewhere else and spend that money or more somewhere else. So why not spend it with you? Be upfront and frank with your fee. And it is what it is. You charge what you charge. You charge what it is worth, not trying to get over on anybody. But you have overhead expenses, and your time is your time. You have to charge for your time and your skill on top of your other expenses in order to make some money. And like I said, I know for a fact that I'm guilty of undercharging. And I have to get a lot better than that because I have felt really bad after I've done a project and worked my butt off and realized I ain't making no money, girl, child. I ain't making no money off this job. I should not have charged that much money. And then the other thing that Jeanette says, and I agree with her 100%, because I try not to do it. I've done it, but I try not to do it. Don't give them a price until you know what it is that you have to do. Oh, I know what the other amount of money, the digitizing. She, the lady that I was talking about, she also said double your digitizing charge as well. If you paid $10, charge 20. You paid 15, charge 30. Now I have paid as much as $50. I'm not going to charge anybody $100 to digitize unless it is something that is very intricate. Then and I have paid that much money for digitizing before because I didn't know no better. I'm not used that person again either. But other than that one particular situation, and then I got a lot. I got the mock up for my logo and size for my hat. I got a lot. So I got my $100 worth to be honest about it. So it really wasn't that bad. But the most that I have spent at one time for digitizing has been $50 for a design. And I still think that that can be expensive, but it just depends upon where you go. So you have to shop around to get good prices on digitizing. You don't want cheap because you want the quality to be good. You want reasonable and fair. And there are people that will charge a reasonable, fair price. And if you can find that person, then you need to stick with that. Excuse me, stick with that person as far as your digitizing is concerned. But the only time that you don't charge for digitizing, even if you didn't pay for digitizing, is that you're doing it as a bonus or a gift or something along that line, um, as a thank you or a big order or something, and you know you're going to make money on this end, and I may not charge you for the digitizing or something along that line. Other than that, she recommends that you double your digitizing fee and you double your blank fee. Then you have to work on deciding how you're going to charge with your stitches. Um, I don't think 1,000 stitches is enough, depending upon what it is you're stitching. And then sometimes, I mean, $1, 1,000 stitch, depending upon what you're stitching. Now, if I'm doing 20,000 stitches, that in itself is $20. I don't know if I'm gonna double that to 40 unless it's a lot of color changes and stuff, which she also mentioned. You need to put that into consideration. How many color changes you have to do, what kind of thread you're having to use. Now, when it says color changing, for me, it would only be an issue if you're working on a single needle machine. If I'm using my 10 needle machine, I don't have a big concern with the color changes, but the type of thread I do. But the color changes is not an issue because I'm just programming that in there, and it's not any more of an effort to stitch 3 colors than it is to stitch 2 colors, other than maybe the time, depending upon how many stitches. So again, like I said, I'll delve into that situation. We'll have another video about pricing and stuff like that. But just to give you a thought process while we're talking about whether or not you should be selling or not, because it doesn't do any good to sell your stuff if you don't price it correctly. So let me see what some of you guys are saying. And hi, EJ's daughter, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I haven't seen you in a minute. Um, where are we? Okay, Trisha, you said we did craft fairs last year. You made a lot of contacts that way. You made a lot of contacts that way, and I don't know what that word is, contact work. I think I like doing that better. I keep doing the shows because of the contacts. Great. And EJ's daughter said, love your, thank you. And you're crocheting dish scrubbies for craft shows next month. And you'll be rhinestoning t-shirts tomorrow night. You're doing that crafting. And EJ daughter, single needle machines. You bought more hoops in December. Yeah, you're always buying hoops. And Carol, you say you have one mighty hoop, but you want more, and you're going to need more, and you're going to be happy with more. The more hoops you have, the more the happier you are. And you said you do addictive and can always find more and more hoops that you must have. Me too. Me too. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. It's been a minute since I've seen you too. Thank you for stopping. And Marina said, I have so many hoops, I have to store them under the bed storage container. I know I have a problem when it takes me 10 minutes to find the hoop I need because I've stored them all over the place. Girl. Uh, well, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. Hi, Charlene. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Appreciate you stopping in. Trisha, you usually roll the digitizer fee into the price if you're making multiples. Yeah. Um, yeah. That's also a strategy as well. You don't have to necessarily tell them what the digitizing price is unless they ask specifically, because some people want their if they pay for it, they want the disc now, the USB drive. Do you guys give your uh, design to your customers if they ask, especially if they pay for it? Do you give it to them? I've had some customers say they didn't get theirs, that they weren't, the person wouldn't give it to them. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You say you're usually, Linda, you say you're usually here, you just don't comment. You take in all the information. Well, as long as you're here, I don't care. I don't care. But I do like comments. I like to know who's watching, who's listening, and if you have anything to add or share or whatever, our question, what have you, is always appreciated because that's how we learn. And that's sharing is really, really helpful with what we do as crafters. So, what else are they saying sells well? I think we pretty much went over most of the things that sell well. They're also mentioning, of course, intricate designs on clothing, wall hangings, and pillows. Uh, Other popular forms, they're talking about hand embroidery, which I mentioned is something that I don't do, don't know how to do, but it sells well as also. And then they also mentioned appliques. Now, it's okay to do some, in my opinion, some applique work uh, to sell, but it's more time consuming, or it can be more time consuming. It just depends. Now, if you are cutting out your appliques with a scanning cut or some type of cutting machine, that cuts down on the time it takes to actually cut around it for the applique, so it will make the applique go easier, so quicker rather. So that cuts down on some of the time it takes to take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, cut, and all that kind of stuff that we do when we're doing appliques. I like doing appliques, but it can be time consuming when you're constantly taking it off, putting it on, or pulling it out and cutting it and put however you do your appliques. That can make it time consuming. They also said things that sell well, of course, as we know, is what we can sell at that they can sell as gifts. And these things are handkerchiefs, towels, pillowcases, hats, tote bags, and other beautiful um, design monograms. Intricate details like lace edging or quilting that will make the gifts even more special. So anything that can be considered a gift sells well. Also, anything that can be personalized and used in a business environment, that sells well also. Um, Blankets. Now, oftentimes when we say blankets, a lot of people think about baby blankets, but they don't just have to be baby blankets. They can be blankets for camping. They could be blankets for the dorm. They could be blankets to go on your bed. Some things that I don't see a lot of, but are they're absolutely beautiful and they make wonderful gifts are embroidering on pillowcases, the edges, and then the sheets, the edges. Those are so gorgeous. And if you see a bed that is made with an embroidered sheet set, it is just exquisite. It is so beautiful. And they make wonderful, wonderful housewarming gifts as well as wedding gifts. So it's a good gift idea. So if you're good at that and you like that kind of stuff, that is something that is also good to sell. And um, I know there's an audience out there for it. Curtains, linens. Uh, I did not know this, but I've seen people say they embroider on shower curtains. Now, I I had a really intricate shower curtain once upon a time. It wasn't really embroidery, but it was like petals and flowers, and it was crafty. It was cute. That's why I bought it. But I can imagine that would not be bad, especially if you're doing a special housewarming gift or something along that line. That would go over very well because it is unique. And that's the key word, is unique. Something that people aren't going to be able to get elsewhere. They're not going to walk into Walmart and find it. or Target or maybe even Macy's or someplace like that, they're gonna have to order it. So why not order it from you? Because it's not something that is every day that you can see everywhere, and everybody's not gonna have one like it. When someone comes to visit them and goes into their bathroom and see their beautiful towels or their beautiful shower curtain or rug or uh, whatever else that you may have in their home, throw pillows on their couch, um, a wall hanging of some kind, something that is unique and different that they're not going to find anywhere else, but they can get it from you and you embroidered it and sold it to them. Those are the things. Coasters. Now, I believe in coasters. I'm old fashioned. You don't put your drink on my table without a coaster. I don't put my drink on my table without a coaster. So coasters, I think there's still people out there that use coasters and you can make all kinds of personalized coasters to you know, to sell. So I think that's a good idea. Now, people do mug rugs. And mug rugs are cute. I'm not sure how well mug rugs sell. I've not read anywhere where people have a mug rug business. Now, mug rugs are good gifts, and in my opinion, they're good practice for your learning how to make things and how to learn how to do appliques. And they are good gifts to give to somebody, but um do people actually buy mug rugs? Let me know. If you do well with mug rugs, if you make mug rugs and sell them, let me know. Because I don't know that. I personally have a lot of mug rugs that I don't use them. I just made them because they were cute, but I don't use them. And I use coasters, but I don't use mug rugs, which is kind of weird because it's just an overgrown coaster. And allegedly, it's supposed to be used with your cup and a cookie, a tea cake, or donut or whatever, but who does that? I don't know. Tell me if that's what you guys do. And I do know there are people that have made a lot of mug rugs, but are you making money off of them? I don't know. I don't know. But it's good to know if you are. So if you are, let me know. Monogramming. Now, I fell in love with embroidery, specifically for monogramming, because I've always liked monogram things, whether it was a monogram on the sleeve of a shirt, um, a collar, anything. I don't know why, but I've always loved monogrammed things. And so that for me is definitely a go-to situation. Anything that's monogram, a robe, stuff like that. And EJ, you said you sold mug rugs, but not with embroidery on them. That's something I plan to do this year. Okay. Okay. So what did you use to do your monogram? And Robin, you say you use mug rugs, but you don't sell them. Okay. Yeah. I need to pull mine out and use them. Since I have them, I should be using them, but I don't. For some reason, I just have not really thought about pulling out my mug rug and using them. Now, I did look at um, some alternatives, and we talked about alternatives for online stores, and of course, we all know about Etsy. So, not gonna beat Etsy to death, but there are fees, and they did mention some of the some of the reasons why people are switching from Etsy and going to a competitor. So I'll briefly bring that up. And one of the thing is fees, and that was one of the things that I heard right from the very beginning when I first started embroidering. Period. Hadn't even thought about using I mean, doing any type of selling or anything, I heard about the fees. And it says that the fees went up in 22 and people start evaluating, reevaluating their products and prices and considering alternative marketplaces. And even though Etsy doesn't have a monthly membership fee or a subscription, there it charges various fees for listing and selling products, and in some cases, making them unprofitable. So that means I'm working for Etsy. And I don't like that. If the fees are so high that I don't make any money because my product that I'm selling is this price and Etsy is charging me this price, I might even end up in the hole. It says while Etsy fees are low enough for newbie sellers, they accumulate when the business grows. The platform's expenses can become more significant than some of the other competitors. Um, and that happens because Etsy has an off-site ad program from which sellers cannot opt out of after reaching a set sale threshold. And I was not aware of that. So that, and I just heard that the fees can be high. That's what I heard. It says many small businesses are attracted to Etsy platform due to the absence of a monthly subscription fee or promises of easy money with drop shipping. But that makes Etsy packed with merchants, many selling similar products, looking the same, and making it hard for newcomers to get visibility without Etsy ads. So therefore they go looking elsewhere. Etsy also has restrictions on the customization, so you have to follow their rules to the letter. And you can customize a shop and info and appearance section by altering the store's name and title, adding an icon, a banner, photo, customize an announcement, and it also possible to create a list of featured items and rearrange the items and listing, but that's it. So that's a lot for me, but since I don't do it, I don't know what it would be like if you were on there for a long, long time and you're trying to boost your sales and stuff. And it also mentions, which I had heard of, about suspensions. And Etsy is a closed environment with its own rules and terms of use. That makes it easier for sellers to inadvertently break some of the rules without knowing it and have their account suspended or even canceled without warning. Sometimes the suspensions look arbitrary. Some Etsy sellers have their accounts frozen while adding products from print on demand. Others during the process of confirming bank accounts. So that's weird. And it's a nuisance because you don't really know why it's happening. And it's difficult to get any customer support from what I've heard because it takes a long time for them to address an issue. So that's why a lot of people are steering away. Well, I won't say a lot of people. That's why some people steer away from Etsy and choose other alternatives. And like I said, one of the alternatives is eBay. And we talked about eBay. But I know from experience, you do have to pay to sell your items on eBay. I didn't know that at the time, but I found out when I was trying to sell some household something other I had. It didn't sell, but I still had to pay them. So it's a eBay was the first auction website and is one of the oldest online marketplace. Depending upon the seller, products can be sold immediately with the buy it now button or by the highest bid. Buyers look to eBay for good deals and a variety of products. Almost anything can be found in the online marketplace. And they have a setup process and all of that. And they have their pros and their cons. They get consolidated traffic and simple setup, but the con is limited customization, high competition for regular listing, and complex policies and rules can lead to account suspensions, just like with um, Etsy. And then they have a monthly price. whenever this was published, their starter was $8, what, $7.95 a month. Basic was $27.95 a month with more benefits. Um, and then premium $74.95. And then the anchor is $349.95 a month. That's for people that have a high volume sale. And then for enterprise, it was all the way up to $3,000 a year. And it's for people that have an extensive catalog, so it's worthwhile. Also, the fee is $35.35 per listing, and then normally a 12.9 to 50% of the product price is their fee. So um, it is what it is. Now, Walmart has an e-commerce that I was not aware of, but their policies and processing is so difficult that and then they want a 15% referral per transaction for most of their items. And they put you through this vigorous uh, registration process and what have you. I didn't even know Walmart had an e-commerce that regular people could get involved in. Um, Nothing that any of us would be interested in. So Shopify, I think, yeah, they have another one called Store Envy. And Amazon Handmade, we talked about that. Bonanza, we talked about that. Um, and then, of course, I mentioned Shopify. So on and on and on. You have all of these different platforms that you can use outside of Etsy. It has its pros and its cons, and whether or not you want to go through that process to have your own business set up, or do you want to go ahead and let Etsy do what it does? Me personally, I think that I would try Etsy before I tried any of the other ones, unless it was maybe Shopify, because I've heard good things about Shopify as well. But it just depends upon what your business is like, and how much you think you can sell and what kind of monies you can make. And hi, son. Thank you for stopping by. Next to you, LLC in Hawaii. 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 Do I want to go to Hawaii? In Florida. I guess he said, I wish I was in Hawaii. I don't know how that flew out of my mouth. I don't know. Anyway, he's in Florida. Uh, so, EJ, daughter, you say you use Thanksgiving and fall and Christmas fabrics for your rug mugs. You sold rug mugs, but not okay. Gotcha. And you say you were surprised they sold. You never know what people want at a craft show. That's cute. You know what happens, I think, at a craft show, which is definitely different than selling online, is that at a craft show, people are actually there. They can see it, they can touch it, feel it, pick it up, look at it, all of that good stuff. And they can see actually how cute it is. Because I know when I go places and I'm actually looking at something, knowing full well this is not something that I ever thought about wanting, needing, or anything like that, but it's so cute, then you want to buy it. It's right there in your face. Whereas if you're online, like an Etsy, a Shopify, or eBay, or anything like that, you're looking at a picture. Now, in this book that I'm reading, it talks about how to take good photographs and the lighting and the coloring and all of those things that are important. It's got to be, the pixels have to be correct, because if the person wants to zoom in, they want to be able to see, figure it out. Is this going to work for them? So forth and so on. Because you can't touch it. You can't pick it up. You have to trust on that picture. And you don't want, you being the seller, want them to order a product and then they don't like it and they send it back because it's not the color they thought it was. It looks cheap, or or it's poorly made or whatever the situation. And I know that I've not really had that experience on Etsy, to be honest about it, because I haven't bought a lot of things off of Etsy other than um, embroidery designs, and I have been disappointed with my embroidery designs. Every embroidery design I bought off of Etsy has not been up to par. I've even mentioned it several times that I was going to stop buying designs off of Etsy because it gets frustrating when you buy a poorly designed design, poorly digitized design. Sometimes you find out that it probably was auto digitized or whatever because it's so bad. Because you have no way of knowing the quality until you actually get it. I can imagine it's the same way when you're buying a product. Now, I have bought a few things off of Etsy, product wise, but I've been lucky enough to been happy with what I've gotten, and I have looked at the product quite a bit. I've compared it with other shops to see, because you are going to find shops with the exact same thing. Sometimes to me it's look like it's the exact same picture. I don't know how that works. Same thing with those designs too. I'm like, how does that work? Why does Sally's design look just like Mary's design? And it's different shops. Where did they get this design? They didn't do it themselves. Obviously, they just selling them. They must have bought them from someplace else, and they both put them up there in their shop to sell. I'm assuming that's what it is because I know I've seen that. And it's a lot of competition, and it's a lot of the same, and all of that. So if you're selling a physical item like caps and towels and pillows and mug rugs and coasters and all of the things that we just talked about, people want to make sure that when they get it is what it is that they're thinking it's going to be. Or they're subject to return it and then you lose money. I don't know how that process works with returns and so forth and so on because I've never returned anything from Etsy. Because, like I said, every physical product I've bought, I've kept, and I've been happy with. My discontentment has been pretty much with designs, and you can't get a refund from that. Um, I did have an issue with one lady with a heirloom quilt. Never bought from her again. I don't even remember what the issue was, besides the fact it was overpriced. But she and I had some conversations, and I didn't, and that's what happens. You don't buy from them anymore. I try not to give bad reviews. I try not to. Every once in a blue moon, if the situation is bad enough, I will give a bad review. I will give a true review, not a bad one, a true review. And but I try not to. A lot of times I just leave it alone. I just don't. I just choose not to buy from them again. And it's amazing at the customer service. Some people are so nice, and some people are so bad. Like, how you got a business and your customer service is so bad? You could care less with you got the money, so you could care less how your customer feel. I don't get that. I really don't get that. So that would be a conversation for another live as well. Dealing with customer service and how do you provide excellent customer service, because that's going to make your business grow. You can have, and I'm not going to say substandard, but you can have a product that may not be the best product, but you have the best customer service. And you can end up not only keeping that customer, you may even get referrals because customer service is so important, especially in this day and age, because we get so much bad customer service. At least I do. It's ridiculous how people do not know how to keep a customer, make a customer happy, put a smile on a customer's face. I'm old school and I know it. Um, as EJ said, word of mouth with a small business makes you or break you, and that is true. And bad customer service will break you. If nothing else, that will break you. And as I was saying, being old school, my mother was an entrepreneur. She had her own restaurant, small, they call them delicatessens back then. And she had a grill, and it was Orr's Grill and Delicatessen back in St. Louis when I was a kid. And the one thing that she told me, and I never forgot, whether it's the truth or not, she said the customer is always right. The customer is not always right. That part I know for a fact. However, you have to know how to deal with the customer where you can come up with hopefully a win-win resolution to whatever the issue may be. And that may at some time require you, the seller, to take a hit. And I've done it before. I don't, I've done it before. I don't recommend you do that all the time because then people, that word of mouth gets out too, and people start taking advantage of you. But if it's your mistake or they perceive it to be your mistake, then you have to decide how you want, what are you comfortable with as far as rectifying it. I had a situation with a mask, with a couple of masks, where this person had asked me to make some masks for her granddaughter. She had three of them, and she saw a picture of a mask that I had made for my daughter. And she told me she wanted her daughter's name, her granddaughter's names on the mask. In my opinion, that's one design, and I only charge you for one design. She wanted the same exact material. I had put a um, fox on my daughter's, a design of a fox on my daughter's mask. Now, the understanding that she had was she was going to get the same fabric, her granddaughter's names, and the fox. My understanding was you're going to get the same fabric and your granddaughter's name, one design. I gave her my price. I made the mask. I shipped them to him. She wasn't happy because it didn't have the fox on it. And I was like, it's not what we discussed. However, again, in her mind was one thing, in my mind was something else. My mistake just started off. I was using my single needle machine. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was making masks because people told me I could sell them. My mistake was not getting everything in writing and clarified and written down and giving her a invoice contract or however you want it, specifying what all was going to be done. Then it would not have been a misunderstanding. I would have known she wanted the fox and the name. Then I could have charged her more money and explained to her the price that I quoted you is for one design. A name is a design. A fox is another design. So you want two designs. That's more money. So what I ended up doing was redoing all three masks, added the fox, and I had asked her to return the mail. I don't know why I did that. I guess because I'm kind of miserable. And she did. What the heck I'm gonna do with them daggum things? They were made for little kids. I ain't had no little kids to give it to with those names on it. So when I redid them, I just sent the whole thing back. So she ended up with 2 masks per child. I just the whole thing back. And I'm glad I did because she was happy. She got what she wanted. She got more than what she wanted. And she didn't pay anything extra. But what ended up happening, she recommended me to other people in her office. And because she worked at one of my doctor's office, and I needed some records and various things and so forth and so on for some situations that were going on, some insurance situations. I was able to call on her and get favors from her, and she always complied. Now, what if I had been mad and mean and I ain't gonna give you nothing and I ain't gonna do it and this is what mm, I would have been the loser. So did I not make money? No, I didn't make any money. Well, actually, no, I didn't make money because it takes time. So the money that I charged her, it was already used up with the first mass. So the second mass were free. So basically, I made no money, but I made a loyal customer, a person word of mouth. That was also somebody that was helpful to me. So it was worth it. So the customer was right. So you have to know what battles to fight. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not worth fighting. Sometimes you come out winning on the end with just giving in. And I don't want to say give in. I looked at it as a lesson learned for me because from that point on, I made sure everything was written out, spelled out, explained out, no more mistakes. This is what you're asking me for. This, correct? This is it. Okay, sign this, move on. No questions asked. You've already agreed this is what you asked for. It was no more assumptions. And that's what happened. I made the assumption that she wanted this, and she was making an assumption that she had asked for this, and we diverged. We were not on the same path. So that was an early on lesson in doing my embroidery business, and I've not made a mistake like that since. And I've always got my money up front too. That's the other thing. Get your money up front. Get all your money up front. Period. Period. Because you can't take your time back. You can't even take your product back if it's customized. So Patricia say, amen. You can't. You can't take your time back. You can't take your product back. You just stuck like Chuck. You can be mad all you want to, but you're stuck. If they don't pay you, then you either gave it to them and you trying to get your money, or you don't give it to them and you stuck with something you can't do anything with, especially if it's customized. If it's not customized, you might be able to sell it some kind of way. But if you customize and put somebody's name on it, whatever the situation is, you spent your time and energy and you don't have your money. And I don't want that I'll pay you next Tuesday situation. No, you're going to pay me today. I'm not turning, as somebody I heard, I don't turn my machine on for less than $15. I ain't mad at that person either. That's a good thing. I'm not going to make one stitch on your product. Take that back. What I do, I ask for 75% up front plus digitize. If it has to be digitized, I ask for the digitizing fee and 75% of the cost up front because I have to buy whatever it is that you want because I like providing the blanks. I don't like taking your blanks. I want my own blanks so I know where they came from, how much they cost, and I can get more if there's a mistake or what have you. So I got to buy, well, I just want more money, but that's what I do with the money. Once I get the 75% up front, I will do one test for your review. And once you approve that, I want the other 25%, then I do your order. So before I do your order, I have all my money. Now that's how I do it. Now people can do it however they want to do it, but that's what I ask for, 75%. That's what I have in my contract, 75% up front plus digitizing fee. And as soon as you approve the test sample, the 25% balance is due. Then I will provide the uh, order on the specified time that we've agreed upon. And everybody has paid me. Everybody has paid me. And I mean, I've had some big orders. Big orders. I don't take checks. Only checks I've ever taken have been from doctors' offices, and that ain't saying that they can't bounce too. But usually a business like that does not bounce checks. But that's the only time I've ever taken a check. I've gotten bound up doctor's offices and lawyer lawyer's office. But regular everyday businesses and people, I don't I don't want a check. I want my money because you can't get your time back, you can't get your product back, and they want their. And my rationale is you're not gonna get nothing off of Amazon, J JC Penney ain't even here, Macy's. You're not gonna walk up out of Walmart. You're not going anywhere without paying up front. So what make you think you can come to the house of Shirley and not and not pay me up front? It's just the way business is done. That's just it. And how can you not think that's fair? That's just the way business is done. You have to pay up front. You don't get anything without paying for it. You pay up front and then you get the product. And if they push back on that, then you don't need or want that business. And that goes for friends and relatives. Unless you know that person well enough where you know 100% of fact that they're going to pay you. And I'm just saying that because even still, you should get your money up front. But there are situations where, but you know you're going to get your money. You know you're going to get your money. But why people don't, well, I've never had it. I put it that way. I can't say why people don't want to pay you up front because I have not had anybody to turn me down. So I don't know if there's other people that have issues with that. Now, I do know that there have been people that have tried to haggle and get the price down. I did not do their work because I would not change my price. I did not do their work. If you can get this done somewhere else for the price that you want to pay, then that's where you go. But if you come here, this is my price and this is what I'm going to charge. And I don't change my price because I know the value of what it is that I'm doing. And I know for a fact they will go to a brick and mortar store and they will pay them exactly what they ask for, or they will not get the work done. When they walk through that door and say, I want my logo on this polo shirt, they're gonna pay whatever they tell you it's gonna cost. I bought from a brick and mortar store before, and that's exactly what I had to do. I had to pay for the logo being digitized, the setup fee, and their shirts and the service. And when they handed me my bill, I had to pay it. If I didn't like the bill, then I could go down the street to somebody else. But if I wanted it done there, that's what I had to pay. Wasn't no haggling. Wasn't any haggling. So don't let them do you like that, because that's not fair. It's not fair to you. And they're devaluing your work and your worth. And when you start that, it's hard to turn it around. And it becomes a word of mouth, just like any and everything else. It becomes a word of mouth. And people begin to realize that they can talk you down. And also, it what I read, and I agree with that, that it devalues you because people think you're cheap and you're not up to quality, because if you were, you would be charging more money because other people do. So when you start off that way, that's what the thought now. Now, like I had mentioned earlier in the program, if you're brand new and you're not that confident in your skill, you may want to charge a small price, $5, whatever, just to offset, stabilize the thread, what have you. But as your skill improves and you know you do good work, then that's when you charge. Now, when I first started, I gave some things away as an introduction, but I gave them away as gifts to friends. I didn't just say, hey, Sally on the corner. I did some samples of stuff that I did, and I sent them to some friends as gifts to introduce them to what I did. This is what I'm doing now, and here is some of the stuff that I do. And I put a few items in there and sent them to them as gifts. But from that point on, everything else costs money. You want it, you pay, like everybody else. But sometimes, as they say, you got to spend money to make money. So sometimes you have to do that. Now, I would not recommend you doing that to a stranger. I really wouldn't. I mean, you can show them what you do, but I wouldn't just give it to them. Hey, Margot, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's the information, and hopefully you all have gotten some type of thought process as far as how to sell or where to sell, not so much how to sell, but where to sell some things that you might want to make. And most importantly, as far as I feel like my job is to encourage you to start selling. Now, what I do need to do is encourage you to give me a thumbs up, because I don't see any thumbs up. As I've told you over and over and over and over and over and over again, the thumbs up are extremely important. They are they're the lifeline of the channel. That and comments and subscription. That's why everybody always asks you to give a like, give a subscription. I mean, to subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of those things helps the channel to grow. Helps me to be able to continue to do this every Tuesday night, and do channels all the time, channel videos. So in order for me to be able to continue to do that, I do have to have the analytics to be going in the right direction. Analytics go in the right direction when you're getting those thumbs up, when you're getting those people to subscribe, when they're sharing and hitting notification bells. All of that helps the channel to grow. So please, if you don't mind, I appreciate it. Thumbs up. I do um, always ask for anything you want me to talk about. Um, just let me know what you're interested in. Those of you that are new, that popped in tonight, that you were new, I appreciate that. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, just put that in the comment. You can always comment after the fact when you're looking at the replay. Um, it helps me to come up with topics because that's not always easy either. But I did mention that I would talk about pricing things coming up, and we can talk about um, anything that has to do with the business aspect. I'm going to keep everybody posted with the progress of my Etsy shop whenever that happens. I mentioned last week about potentially changing the name of my channel, and I'm still working on that. I have a few suggestions. I'm still trying to come up with what really makes it's got to grab me because when I change my name this time, I don't want to have to change it again, and I want it to be something unique and catchy but memorable, something that rolls off the tongue easily, and something that people will remember so you can find me. When I do make the name change, I will definitely make that announcement on my live in the channel in the on the channel on Facebook. Probably will put it on Instagram and um, I do Twitter, but I don't see a lot of people on Twitter that I know. Anyway, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and my live. I would definitely let everybody know what the new name is going to be when I come up with that decision. I'm getting close, but I have yet to choose one yet because like I said, whenever I choose one, I want it to be um, something memorable, something unique, and something that I don't feel like I need to change again. I had thought about changing my name for a while because I felt like it is a mouthful and a lot of people don't remember it. I did research to make sure that I'm not going to lose what I've already gained. The only thing that I might lose would be those of you that don't know how to find me. That's why I'm going to make sure I make the announcements. And when I make the announcement, I'm asking everybody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to share the new name. So you will be able to keep up with me because nothing's going to change but the name. And I'm going to do it to benefit, not to hurt. Now I know initially it may hurt until people realize that, oh, she got a new name. It's the same person, but she's got a new channel name. And once that happens, then hopefully everybody, will be less confused. But it is coming. So hopefully you guys will it's in my community page on my channel asking you guys for suggestions. I'm still asking for suggestions. Anybody that has any creative juices here to think that this would be a cute name or whatever for my channel, I'm open to suggestions. I want to make that decision within the next week or two max because I want to cross this off, check it off, move to the next. I want to check this off. So the name change is coming soon. So stay tuned. Remember, the name change of my channel is coming soon. Stay tuned. And I will let you know when that happens. And I am asking for um, suggestions. Also, for those of you that are still on here, that will be here to be on the Sew Along tomorrow night, we can talk about the name and all that kind of stuff. There's still a few people that are still working on their um, table runner. Several of us have completed it, but there's still a few people that are still working on the table runner. So we're still going to meet tomorrow night. We will be doing a reveal coming up sometime soon, early March, because after that, then we'll be thinking about doing our next sew along. And the floor will be open, the doors will be open for people to join us for that whenever we decide when and what the next sew along project will be. But we do open the door and invite anybody that is interested in participating. We enjoy the camaraderie that has been established. So, um, looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody because I get a chance to see y'all because we do Zoom. And that's the part that makes it fun. We do Zoom. So I am looking forward. Now, I do want to let you guys know, please call me if you can't get onto the Zoom tomorrow night because I extended it and they did not give me a new um, ID or anything like that. And hopefully you don't need it. Hopefully you just do the same one that you have and nothing's going to be an issue. But if for some reason you can't get on, you got my number. Give me a call, text me, do something so we can do a workaround and get you in tomorrow night. But we will be doing a Zoom tomorrow night. I actually extended it for this Wednesday and next Wednesday if needed, but definitely tomorrow night. So hopefully that will work for everybody. And Robin, you'll be a little late. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe you're going to be late. I don't know what to do. But anyway, you have fun at Chuck E. Cheese tomorrow night. I'm just teasing you because Robin is never late. Robin is always early, always early. And Leslie, you say you'll be late too because you have a Zoom meeting for your church. So that's okay. We'll be here. Don't worry about it. But again, like I said, if there's an issue getting on, let me know just in case, because I don't want to think people are just late and then come to find out that you really can't get on and you're having an issue and you're struggling. So I think all of you guys have my number. So get in touch with me if that part is an issue, and then we can go from there. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and say good night to everybody and wish everybody a wonderful and blessed rest of the week. I hope all is well with everybody, and hopefully I'll see you guys again next Tuesday. I don't know what the topic is going to be. It may be on pricing. I have to think, but if it is, I'll put that out, of course, and then we'll go from there. But it may have something else to do with the business of embroidery again. And I will see you guys later, and I will see the Sew Along crew tomorrow night. You guys take care, and good night. Thumbs up, everybody.